7 o'clock, what, no?
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Not started?
Yeah.
Done in the fridge, first fridge. There. Outside.
I put some wood glue.
With the bowl, na? With the bowl? Mic mic. Singer Prabhu. Mic testing. New amplifier. Testing. Prabhu Pada Jaya Prabhu Pada Jaya Prabhu Pada Jaya नहीं चल रहा है अभी तक। जय प्रभु पादा जय प्रभु पादा प्रभु पादा जय Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Kati sadma bandamui savadhana mate bandamui savadhana mate Bhavato riya jai jai Bhavato riya jai Krishna prapti hoy jai hoyte Krishna prapti hoy Padmavakya Vitete Kori Bhakya Padmavakya Vitete Kori Bhakya Arana Kori Homane Asa Arana Kori प्रसादे पूरे सर्वा आशा प्रसादे पूरे सर्वा आशा सचुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
सचुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित
प्रेम भक्ति जाते अविद्या विनाश जाते
प्रेम भक्ति हाते अविद्या विनाश येते
वेद गाय जाहार चरितो
वैदे गाय हर चरित
श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु
श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु
लोकेनाथ लोकेर जीवाना
लोकेनाथ लोकेर जीवाना
आहा प्रभु कर दया देह मोरे पद छाया
आहा प्रभु कर दया देह मोरे पद छाया
हे व्यास घोषक त्रिभुवना
हे व्यास त्रिभुवना
जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद
जय प्रभुपाद 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 श्रील प्रभुपाद
नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनेति नामिने
नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनेति नामिने
नमस्ते सारस्वत देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सदि गौर भक्त वृंद
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
श्यामकुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन कालिंदी यमुना जय जय महावन
श्यामा कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन कालिंदी यमुना जय जय महावन
केशी घाट वंशी बट द्वादश कानन जहाँ सब लीला कोयलो श्री नंद नंदन
केशी घाट वंशी बट द्वादश कानन यहाँ सर्व लीला कोइला श्री नंद नंदन
श्री नंद यशोदा जय जय गोपगण श्री दामारे जय जय धेनु बचगण
श्री नंद यशोदा जय जय गोपगण श्री दामादि जय जय धेनु बचगण
जय वृषभानु जय कृतिदा सुंदरी जय पौर्णमासी जय आविरा नगरी
जय विश्वभानु जय कीर्तिदा सुंदरी जय पूर्णमासी जय वीरनगरी
जय जय गोपीश्वर वृंदावन जय जय कृष्ण सखा बटु जरा
जय जय गोपीश्वर वृंदावन जय जय कृष्ण सखा बटु दिगरा
जय राम घाट जय रोहिणी नंदन जय जय वृंदावनवासी
जय राम घाट जय रोगिणी नंदन जय जय वृंदावनवासी तजन
जय द्विज पत्नी जय नाग कन्यागण पकतित जारू पाल गोविंद चरण
जय द्विजा पत्नी जय नाग कन्यागण भक्ति खे आहार पाइला गोविंद चरण
श्री रस मंडल जय जय राधा श्याम जय जय रस लीला सर्व मनोरम
श्रीरस मंडल जय जय राधा श्याम जय जय रस लीला सर्व मनोरम
जय जय उज्जवल रस सर्वरस सार परकिया भावे जहाँ व्रजेति प्रचार
जय जय उज्जवल रस सर्वरस सार परकिया भावे यहाँ वैदन्ति प्रचार
सृजन हवा पाद पद्म करिया स्मरण दीन कृष्ण दास कोहे नाम संकीर्तन
सृजन हवा पाद पद्म करिया स्मरण दीना कृष्ण दास कहे नम संकीर्तन
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रभुचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमदावय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय प्रेम से कही जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माँ यमुना माई की जय भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी महारानी की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय शिल प्रभुपाद ट्रांसलेटर बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय इस्कॉन फिनिक्स की जय शिवरात्रि महामहोत्सव की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotee हरे कृष्ण ऑल ग्लोरीज श्री श्री गुरु एंड गौरांग ऑल ग्लोरीज टू शिल प्रभुपाद की जय हो
शिविर दिले ना मला पाहिजे
मुझे कोकोश बना दीजिए। ठीक है बाबू, कुछ दिक्कत होगी तो मैं आपको कॉल करता हूँ। ठीक है।
तो मैं फिर फेसबुक लाइव में डाल दूँगा यहाँ से, ठीक है।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hripriye Mancha Kalpatarupescha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Rachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees, for very kindly joining for our ongoing discussions of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm right now in a different place in Phoenix, so it has a different time zone, and because of which we had to alter our class timings to suit the morning Bhagavatam timing of ISKCON of Phoenix. But we will be continuing our reading of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that we have been doing for the last 10 sessions, and this is the 11th session, continuation of the Madhya Leela of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We spoke on the end of Adi Leela, what are the instances that led to Gauranga Mahaprabhu's taking sannyas, and then we entered into Madhya Leela. We spoke about the organizational and spiritual aspects of sannyas, as to why Prabhupada gave sannyas to different individuals, and why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to take sannyas. And eventually now we are in the section of Sripad Madhavendra Puri, the celebrated personality to whom Gopal and Gopinath both reciprocated. So we were in the section where he offered bhoga to Gopal, and practically in one single day all the arrangements were done. And Srila Kaviraj Goswami uses the word Gopal Prabhava. By the power potency of Gopal, naturally everything aligned, all the things aligned. So we will continue our discussion from the point where we left off. Madhavendra Puri initiated the Brahmanas into different types of service. Knowing that Gopalji had appeared atop Govardhan hill, people from neighboring villages begged Madhavendra Puri to allot them one day to perform the Annakuta ceremony. Day after day, they all performed the Annakut ceremony and brought a variety of presentations. Big capitalists from Mathura also brought various presentations. One rich Kshatriya constructed a temple. Every family in Brajbhumi contributed one cow. Thus thousands of cows became the property of Gopal. We see this prominent point has been made that Gopal was constructed, the temple was constructed on top of the hill of Girirajji. And we see Giriraj has been glorified so much. Primarily from the standpoint of Shachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu, if you see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never kept his foot on Govardhan. Many times we see the Brajavasis may do it, but in our Gaudiya line we never keep our foot on top of Giriraj. Why? Because Giriraj is a devotee. Just like we don't keep our feet on the head of a devotee. Similarly, Giriraj is the best among devotees. Who is saying this? Srimati Radharani. In the section on the Venu Geet, we find Canto 10, chapter 21, text 18. Srimati Radharani, when she is there with her Sakhis, she sees Govardhan and she calls out Govardhan in a very loving fashion, where she says, Hantaya Madhrurabala Haridasa Varya Yadrama Krishna Charana Sparasha Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayosta Yoryat Pani Yasuya Vasakandara Kandamudai. Srimati Radharani is sending this verse. This verse practically came out of the lotus lips of Srimati Radharani. What is Srimati Radharani saying? Hanta Ayam. So in Sanskrit, no? Ayam means to point out. When you're pointing out to someone, you say Ayam. So she's saying Hantayam. This Giriraj, who is he? Hantayam Adra Abala Haridasavarya. He is Haridasavarya. He is the best among devotees. And Srimati Radharani is calling herself as Abala. She is saying that we are all Abala and Giriraj is Sabala. He is having all the strength. Why Srimati Radharani is saying that she is Abala? That she is not having any strength. Bala means strength and Abala means no strength. So Radharani is saying, I don't have any strength, but Giriraj has all the strength. Why? It is because Srimati Radharani is thinking to herself, we are all in family life and we are all married. And now it is difficult for us to leave Grahastha ashram. Our husbands are there, our family members are there. It is very difficult for us to leave family life. Even to come and meet with Krishna, it is very difficult. So leaving family ties is very difficult for us. But this Giriraj, when he was very small, he left family life. We are wanting to leave family life, but Giriraj, when he was very small, he left family life. Why did he leave family life, or how did he leave family life? It is very beautifully explained that Giriraj is a mountain, right? So one time Paulastya Muni, he came to the Himalayan mountains and he saw that Giriraj was present there. He stayed in these mountains for a good amount of time, and then finally as he was leaving, he told the Himalayan mountains that now I am leaving, I don't have any place of worship, I don't have any place of bhajan. If there can be some place where I can dedicatedly do, because he was not staying in Vrindavan, Paulastya Rishi. So he said, well, I don't have a dedicated place, so if I can get one of your children, so that I can take him along with me, and I can sit in these caves and do my bhajan. His eyes fell at Govardhan. Govardhan at that time was very small, very chotu. His eyes fell at Govardhan. He fell in love with Govardhan. And he thought to himself, how I wish I have Govardhan in my life, so that in his caves I can do bhajan. When Govardhan was asked, he said, well, I will come with you, but I have some condition. He said, what is the condition? He said, my condition is, you should not put me down at no time. Wherever you are going, you should carry me. You should not put me down. The place where you put me down, that's it. I will not get up from there. So Paulastya Muni said, well, that's not very difficult, because he was a Muni. So for them, Shakti is very natural. Right? They said, well, that's not very difficult. I can very easily do that. So Govardhan agreed. Paulastya Muni carried Govardhan. And as he was going from place to place to place to place, finally he came to Shri Vrindavan Dham. And as he came to Vrindavan Dham, naturally, very mystically, Yogamaya worked such that Paulastya Muni had to pee. He had to attend the nature's call. He had to go to the restroom. And naturally, Paulastya Muni, he kept Govardhan down and he went to the restroom. And now when he came back, he tried to pick. He was not able to pick. He said, hey, what is this? You are not coming in my hand. Govardhan said, you remember what you promised? You had told me that you will not put me down anywhere. Paulastya Muni said, okay, but this was nature's call. This was an emergency. Well, come on, you don't have to take it so seriously. Govardhan said, well, you promised it. And now I am not going to move from here. Actually, seeing Vrindavan, Govardhan got very ecstatic. And he got so ecstatic that naturally Yogamaya worked together with Govardhan to make sure that Paulastya Muni drops Govardhan in the land of Vrindavan Dham. So Paulastya Muni got very angry and he cursed Govardhan. He said, hey, I will curse you that every day you will reduce by the size of a mustard seed. Govardhan said, so be it, but I am not going to leave Vrindavan. आपको जो करना है कीजिए, हम वृंदावन छोड़कर नहीं जाएंगे. Now Paulastya Muni left. Now we see Govardhan is shrinking every day by the size of a mustard seed. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary says, it is not Paulastya Muni's curse because of which Govardhan is shrinking. Why? Because Govardhan is way more exalted than Paulastya Muni. Paulastya Muni is just a normal sadhu. Govardhan is very, very glorious. So how is it that Govardhan is still shrinking in size? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, after, till the time Krishna was present in this world, Govardhana was perfect. But after Krishna has departed from this world, after Srimati Radharani, they have all departed from this world, Govardhan is so much in separation that now, day by day, his body is going underground. And now all that is left is just his eyes. So the eyes are hunting for Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? The whole body has gone down into the ground, but only the eyes are hunting. Krishna Kothai. The Sripad Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, it is not Paulus the Muni's curse because of which he is shrinking. It is his own eagerness to find Radha and Krishna because of which the whole body has gone inside, only the eyes are hunting. And these two eyes are Radhakund and Shyamkund. And these two eyes are filled with water, which means he is crying. The eyes are filled with water, which means he is crying for Radha and Krishna. Where are Radha and Krishna, etc. So Srimati Radharani is thinking about this, and Srimati Radharani is saying, he left his family life in one go. He didn't think much. Very easily he left his family life, and he has come here to Vrindavan to serve Krishna. But look at us. We are still not finding it. We are finding it very difficult to live our family life. So Hantayam Adra Abala, we are Abala, we don't have strength. But Giriraj, you are Sabala, you have strength. Haridas Avarya. Yed Krishna, Charanam Sparasha Pramoda, Manam Tanodi Saha Go Ganayostayuriyat Pani Suya Vasakandara Kandamule. We see that traditionally the mountains that were there, they had wings. These mountains would fly from one place to another. Imagine you go out and you find mountains flying. It's probably not possible at this point, but there was a time when mountains had wings and they would fly. So Indra got very irritated, who was Devaraj. Indra got very irritated. And Indra said, oh, this is very disturbing. So he took his sword and he cut the wings of the mountains. That, hey, you should not fly, just cut his wings. Cut the wings of all the mountains. It is explained from that day onward, after Indra cut the wings, these mountains are stationary. They practically don't move. They are achala. Chala means to move. Achala, they don't move. So mountains are also called as achala. This is why Jagannath Puri is called Neela Achala. Neela means blue and Achala means mountain. The place where blue mountains are there is Neela Achala. So mountains are called achala. And now the mountains and Indra had a friction because of this incident, because he had cut the wings. This is why Krishna on purpose to teach Indra a lesson during Govardhan Lila, he picks up a mountain. He could have taught Indra a lesson in any way, but सबक सिखाने के लिए भगवान जानबूझकर एक पर्वत को उठाता है. He picks up a mountain because the mountains and Indra have a clash. And Krishna, to crush the false ego of Indra, picks up not just any mountain, picks up the king of the mountains to crush Indra's false ego. And this is why Indra got even more irritated. He got even more agitated. Kaviraj Goswami Chaitanya Charitamrita explains how did Krishna pick up Govardhan? Krida Kandukatam Yena Nito Govardhana Giri. Just like you see, you have mushrooms. They are very small. And how easy or how difficult it is to pick mushrooms? Not very difficult. Like bachcha bhi utha lega. So it is explained, Krishna picked up Govardhan just like any small boy picks up mushroom. Or just like a small child picks up a toy, Krida. Just like he picks up a small toy. How difficult it is to pick up a toy? Not very difficult. Anyone can pick up very easily. Krishna picked up Govardhan like that. Kaviraj Goswami says, Krida Kandukatam Yena Nito Govardhana Giri. He picked up Govardhan just like he picks up a toy. So in our Gaudiya tradition we find we don't keep our foot or our feet on top of Sri Giriraj because he is the best among devotees. And who is saying that? Srimati Radharani is saying that. And we discussed this, how even Srila Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita explains that greater than Vaikuntha is Mathura, and greater than Mathura is Sri Vrindavan Dham, and greater than that Sri Vrindavan Dham is Govardhan. And greater than that Govardhan is Radhakund. But this Radhakund and Shyamkund are practically the two love-filled eyes of Govardhan that are crying for Radha and Krishna. So in this way, Madhavendra Puri installs the deity of Gopal on top. Srila Prabhupada explains, a spiritual community is one in which everyone is directly or indirectly engaged in the service of temple deity and preaching of bhakti. Thus the material desires to satisfy senses will diminish and one will be able to understand the Supreme Lord as He is. It is generally seen and very experiential for many devotees that the more they dress temple deities or the more they dress their own home deities, their desire to dress opulently for us decreases. जितना ठाकुर जी ने भगवान का श्री मूर्ति की सेवा करते हैं, अच्छे पोशाक पहनाते हैं, the more we beautifully dress Radha and Krishna, Chaitanya Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, naturally Srila Prabhupada would explain that our desire to dress opulently will go down. So this is why deity worship has been very prominent by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as one of the 5 most powerful limbs of Krishna consciousness. Of the 64 limbs that have been brought down to 5, we see deity worship is one among them. Bhagavad Shravan Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavad Shravan, Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan. This is the word Rupa Goswami used. Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan. Doing seva of Shri Murti, but how? Shraddhaya, with faith. Then is Mathuravas or Dhamvas, and 5th is Nam Sankirtan. The powerful, 5 most powerful limbs of Krishna consciousness. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say, of the 64, these are the most 5 powerful limbs. But if someone cannot even do these 5 limbs, if someone is not able to do Dhamvas, if someone is not able to do any of the other limbs, then there is one limb of Krishna consciousness which is as powerful as the 5 limbs, which is as powerful as the 64 limbs. And that one limb is Nam Sankirtan, chanting of the names of the Supreme Lord. Why? Because this mantra is the dharma for this age. It is the yuga dharma for this age. Harshe Prabhu kahe Shuno Swarupa Ram Rai. Harshe Prabhu Shuno Swarupa Ram Rai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very satisfied, very happy. And he told Ram Rai, that is Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar, Nama Sankirtana Kalau Parama Upai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami, Nam Sankirtana Kalau Parama Upai. कलयुग में यदि कोई परम उपाय है भगवत प्राप्ति का, वो है नाम संकीर्तन, वो है भगवान नाम जप करना. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. The ideal place to execute Krishna consciousness is Vrindavan, Prabhupada says, where the people are naturally inclined to love Krishna and Krishna is naturally inclined to love them. We see in the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam during the Prahlad Maharaj pastime. So there, when Prahlad Maharaj is speaking to Hiranyakashipu, there is a point where Prahlad Maharaj, he says, Tat sadhu manye asuravarya dehinam. He says, my dear father, who are you? Asuravarya. Giriraj is Haridasavarya. Hiranyakashipu is Asuravarya, the best among demons. Krishna is Yaduvarya, the best among the Yadu dynasty. So look at the difference. Hiranyakashipu is Asuravarya, Krishna is Yaduvarya, Giriraj is Haridasavarya. So we want to be in the category of Giriraj, in the category of devotees, not demons, and of course we don't compete with Krishna. So we see Prahlad Maharaj when he is saying this to Hiranyakashipu, he says, Tat sadhu mani asuravarya dehinam. In that verse he says, Hitvatma pakam grihamanta kupam vanam gatoya harimashvayata. He says, my dear father, Hitvatma pakam grihamanta kupam. This family life that is there, it is grihamanta kupam. It is not just well, but it is deep dark well. He says, family life is deep dark well. Grihamanta kupam. Vanam gatoya harimashvayata. He says, my dear father, please go to one and take shelter of Hari. And Prahlad Maharaj means one. One means forest. Prabhupada translates one as Vrindavan. He says in Kali Yuga, one means Vrindavan. So go to Vrindavan and take shelter of Krishna. So you see, wherever one is there, Prabhupada would replace that with Vrindavan. Because in Kali, one means Vrindavan. So imagine for Hiranyakashipu, he perceived Hari or Krishna or Vishnu as his demon. And his son is sitting on his lap and is saying, go to the forest and do what in the forest? Worship Hari, which means worship your enemy. And this was too much for Hiranyakashipu to take. Now after the temple was installed, two renowned Bengali Brahmanas came to Vrindavan. And Madhavendra Puri took care of them and entrusted them with daily service of Lord Gopal. Thus 2 years passed. One day in a dream, Gopal instructed Madhavendra Puri to bring sandalwood from Malaya mountain and smear the pulp over his body, as his temperature had still not decreased. So that apparently the Lord had fever. Just like we see in Jagannath Puri, after the Snan Yatra is done, they bathe the Lord. After that, about 10 days the temple will be closed. Why? Because Jagannath has fever. Jagannath has cold. He has cough. And even the devotees have kept thermometer. And Jagannath will actually be having fever. So after all the bathing is done, he will have he will start sneezing. So for 10 days the temple is closed. That Lord who is the Lord of all Lords. What will little Snan Yatra do to him? But still, as a matter of reciprocation to the love of the devotees, Jagannath falls ill. And likewise here Gopal, his body temperature is increasing, which means he is having fever, and he instructs Madhavendra Puri to go to the Malaya mountain and bring sandalwood. To please the Lord, Madhavendra Puri at once started to the East Bengal. He arrived at Advaita Acharya's house in Shantipur. Advaita was pleased to see his ecstatic love and begged to be initiated by him. Madhavendra Puri initiated Advaita and started for South India. He reached Remuna and became overwhelmed to see the beautiful deity of Lord Gopinath. He chanted and danced in the temple courtyard. He inquired from the Brahmana priest about the foods offered to the Gopinath deity. The Brahmana said, in the evening, Amrita Keli, sweet rice, is offered in 12 pots. It tastes like nectar and is celebrated as Gopinath Kheer. At that time, the bhog was being offered to the deity. Actually, in Canada, we have a temple in Toronto. So there Prabhupada installed Radha and Krishna. It's a very long story as to how Prabhupada sacrificed and how difficult it was to obtain the property of Toronto temple. But eventually Prabhupada got that property, and when Prabhupada installed Radha Krishna, he named the deities as Shri Radha Kheer Chor Gopinath. वो भगवान जो खीर चुराते हैं. So in our ISKCON also we have Shri Radha Kheer Chor Gopinath. So the tradition of Kheer Chor is coming from this pastime of Sripad Madhavendra Puri. At that time the bhoga was being offered to the deity. Madhavendra Puri desired, if without my asking a little sweet rice is given to me, I can taste it and make similar preparation to offer it to Gopal. Considering his desire to taste the sweet rice which was being offered to the Lord an offense, Madhavendra Puri left the temple after the Arati and sat and chanted in a marketplace. Meanwhile, the temple priest laid the deity to rest and went to sleep. Now comes the famous pastime that we discussed the other day. In dream, Gopinath told him, I have kept one pot of sweet rice for the sannyasi Madhavendra Puri behind my curtain. Please deliver it to him who is sitting in the vacant marketplace. The priest immediately rose, took bath, opened the temple door, took the sweet rice pot and went out to the village calling out, Madhavendra Puri! Madhavendra Puri! Gopinath has stolen a pot of sweet rice for you. You are the most fortunate within the three worlds. Madhavendra Puri came out and the priest gave him the pot, gave the pot to him and offered obeisances. How much the Lord reciprocates to his devotees. Patra apatra vicharanam na kurute. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati explains in Chaitanya Chandramrita, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is such a personality that patra apatra, यदि पात्र है या पात्र नहीं है, whether we are qualified, whether we are unqualified, विचारणं न कुरुते. Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu don't consider any qualification. We see the same thing has been made for Nityananda Prabhu also. Even he doesn't consider any qualification, whether we are qualified or not. प्रेमे मत्त नित्यानंद कृपा अवतार उत्तम अधम किछु न करे विचार जय आगे पड़े तारा करे उद्धार प्रेमे मत्त नित्यानंद कृपा अवतार. नित्यानंद प्रभु प्रेम के ऐसे महामूर्तिमान है. He is such an ocean of compassion, this ocean of compassion. Nityananda Prabhu is such an ocean of compassion that he doesn't consider whether one is qualified or not. Anyone who falls in front of Nityananda Prabhu, he is ready to uplift them. And we see Mahaprabhu's mood was like this. He accepted and embraced everyone. Sanatan Goswami, when he came to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, had pus and wound all over his body. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't see the externals. Mahaprabhu just embraced him. In this world, if someone has pus and wound all over his body, people will keep distance. Right? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't. He doesn't think anything. Mahaprabhu just embraces. Mahaprabhu just embraces him. How about Haridas Thakur? Haridas Thakur came from not very aristocratic background. He came from a Muslim birth. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu makes him the Acharya for Nam Tattva, Namacharya. And we see Haridas Thakur has been given so much respect. In the Shraddha ceremony that Advaita Acharya was performing, all big Brahmanas were invited. And Haridas Thakur was also invited. And as a custom, you feed the Vaishnavas. Those who are very exalted, you feed them first. Advaita Acharya left all the Brahmanas to the side, and the first offering he gave it to Haridas Thakur. He said, you should take it. Haridas Thakur said, there are so many who are more qualified. They are Brahmanas. I am not even Brahmana before. I am Muslim. Advaita Acharya said, you may be Muslim by birth, but you are the Kripa Patra of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And you are very, very qualified for the attachment that you have for Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You are very qualified. You should be the first recipient. Haridas Thakur refused, but Advaita Acharya said, you should take it. And there were some who agreed to the superiority of Haridas Thakur, while there were some who felt that no, we should be given first. We are Brahmanas who are following Jati Buddhi. But we see Advaita Acharya didn't really care. He first gave it to Haridas Thakur. Likewise, Ramananda Rai, we see was a governor, he was a minister. He was working for Maharaj Prataparudra in the Madras province. So he was a government official. He was into politics. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepts him and makes him the Acharya for Rasa Tattva. He accepts Haridas Thakur and makes him the Acharya for Nam Tattva, even though he was from a low background. He accepts Sanatan Goswami who had external bodily difficulties and challenges, and Mahaprabhu makes him the Acharya for Sambandha Tattva. So whether it is Sanatan Goswami for Sambandha Tattva, whether it is Haridas Thakur for Nam Tattva, whether it is Ramananda Rai for Rasa Tattva, we see Mahaprabhu is ready to accept and embrace anyone and everyone without any qualification. Patra apatra vicharanam na kurute. Bhagavan kuch bhi नहीं देखते. This is what exactly even Prahlad Maharaj says in the 7th canto. Manye dhana vijana rupa tapashrutojas teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga naradhanani bhavanti parasya pumsam bhaktya mudosha bhagavan gajayuta paya. 799 Srimad Bhagavatam, prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. The same point has been made, that Krishna doesn't see whether we are qualified or not. Our external attributes really don't mean much to Krishna. Our material assets don't mean really much to Krishna. All that is required is how much sincerity is there in the heart. As we have said this earlier, Srila Radhanath Maharaj very beautifully explains, he says that Krishna smells the fragrance of the heart. Krishna smells the fragrance of the heart. If the heart is very fragrant, then Krishna is ready to accept it. But on the flip side, if The heart is not very fragrant, it is puffed up and proud. One may have all the material assets, but Krishna may not be very inspired by that person's Krishna consciousness. So Krishna smells the fragrance of the heart. Madhavendra Puri ate the sweet rice, washed the pot, broke it into pieces and bound the pieces in his outer cloth. Why? Because each day he would eat one piece and would be overwhelmed with ecstasy. जो मटके में sweet rice दिए थे, the pot in which sweet rice was given, he ate that sweet rice, and the pot that was there, matka, he broke that into small pieces, and every day he would eat those small pieces. Why? Because Gopinath Mahaprasad was there. He thought to himself, this pot is very glorious because Gopinath has hid it behind his deity, behind him, which means Gopinath has touched the pot. And if he has touched the pot, which means this pot is very glorious, so every day little piece, Madhavendra Puri was accepting that Gopinath had practically touched. Madhavendra Puri proceeded to Jagannath Puri immediately so that he need not face great crowds in the morning, hearing that the Lord has stolen sweet rice for him. Pure devotees never desire reputation for themselves, although they could become famous for their devotion by the Lord's will. Reaching Jagannath Puri by walking, Madhavendra Puri saw Lord Jagannath and was overwhelmed with loving ecstasy and bliss. He stood, fell, laughed, danced and sang. When he came to Jagannath Puri, people were already aware of his transcendental reputation, and many offered him respects and devotion. Jealous people generally turn against a reputed person, but when one doesn't desire fame out of humility, people consequently and naturally give him all fame. A reputation brought by love of God is so sublime that it goes with the devotee as if following the devotee. एक परछाई की समान होती है reputation. If someone is having love of God, then naturally Srila Prabhupada explains that name, fame, popularity or whatever these things are there, they are like shadow. Naturally, just like shadow follows the person, whether we want or not. Similarly, these material things also follow. Madhavendra Puri told the devotees at Jagannath Puri about the appearance of Sri Gopal and his instruction to get sandalwood. Upon hearing this with great pleasure, the devotees arranged for sandalwood, camphor, a brahmana and a servant to carry sandalwood along with travel expenses and release the papers to get past the toll collectors. Thus Madhavendra Puri started for Vrindavan with the Chandan and again reached Remuna. The priest saw him again, offered respects and thus sweet rice prasad. So again he got sweet rice prasad. Considering the trouble of his devotee, because कितना चलना पड़ता है उस जमाने में तो कोई ट्रेन में था नहीं, गाड़ी थी नहीं, कोई फ्लाइट थी नहीं. So all these places Madhavendra Puri is walking. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is going from one place to another, Mahaprabhu is walking. Whether it's a South India Yatra or whatever, Mahaprabhu is walking. We see how difficult it gets. We have to do one Giriraj Parikrama, and by the time the Giriraj Parikrama is done, we are tired, our legs are completely sore. It's very difficult to walk anything after that. But we see Madhavendra Puri here, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so many of the Lord's associates, 500 years back, were practically walking from place to place, from place to place to place to place. Considering the trouble of this devotee, that night Lord Gopal told Madhavendra Puri in a dream, I have already received all sandalwood and camphor. Now just grind it and smear the body or smear the pulp on Gopinath's body daily until it is finished. Thus the temperature of my body will be reduced as there is no difference between his body and mine. So Gopal and Gopinath are one and the same. And the Lord comes in the dream. Gopal comes in the dream of Madhavendra Puri and says, that sandalwood you give it to Gopinath only, so that you don't have to keep walking this way. He and I are one and the same. Thus the temperature of my body will be reduced, as there is no difference between his body and mine. Madhavendra Puri woke up and executed Gopal's instruction. Madhavendra Puri stayed there until the chandan was applied to Gopinath ji. At the end of summer, he returned to Jagannath Puri, where he remained happily for the whole period of Chaturmasya. Madhavendra Puri is a brilliant example of service without personal consideration. Madhavendra Puri was the first to introduce into the Madhva Sampradaya the realization of devotional service in conjugal love. The mode of conjugal love was first introduced by Madhavendra Puri, as it is explained here. Thus Lord Chaitanya praised the divine qualities of Madhavendra Puri to all the devotees and personally relished it. Sri Gopal wanted to show how intensely Madhavendra Puri loved Krishna, and Lord Chaitanya took great pleasure in glorifying him. So in this way we see Madhavendra Puri went to so much. To what extent to please the Lord, whether it is installing the deity of the Supreme Lord on top of Govardhan, or from walking from Remuna to Jagannath Puri, getting sandalwood, making sure the Brahmanas are there, making all the preparations, and then the Lord comes in the dream and says, no, you just give it to Gopinath. He was so flexible and ready to go to any extreme to please the Supreme Lord. We see this Gopi Chandan that we also wear is actually having its origin in Dwarka. It's not from Vrindavan traditionally. It's from Dwarka, and primarily the reason is after the gopis met Krishna for many hundreds of years. Finally, it is explained that these Braja gopis, when they took bath in one of the lakes, one of the ponds there, the chandan that they had applied on the body, the perspiration that they had, all of them mixed with the waters of this kund, and it settled as a layer on the bottom of the lake. And eventually it is seen that is what we are getting till this date. We say Gopi Chandan, but where is the origin of that Gopi Chandan? It's not Vrindavan, it's Dwarka, especially when they had come to meet Krishna after many hundreds of years. The chandan from their body and their perspiration and their transcendental bhav all mixed together, it settled as the base of this kund in Dwarka, and from there we get our Gopi Chandan. So in this way we see the Lord is very, very kind to always reciprocate to all his devotees, whether it is Sripad Madhavendra Puri, whether it is Prahlad Maharaj, whether even if it's Dhruva. How about Dhruva? When Dhruva Maharaj was very young, he had insults from the family. His own family was not ready to accept him. And taking that as the impetus, he goes into the forest to do bhajan, and does almost 6 months of bhajan. And finally when the Supreme Lord appears in front of him, keeps the conch shell and he starts speaking. At that time, Dhruva Maharaj very beautifully he says, Prabhupada explains this. This comes from Hari Bhakti Sudodaya. Dhruva Maharaj he says, Sthana vilashi stapasi stitoyam tvam prapyavaneva munindra kurihyam kachan vichinman apidivyaratnam swamim kritartos brahmayachet. Dhruva Maharaj he says, my dear Lord, Sthana Abhilashi Tapasi Stitoyam, that I came here to the forest. Why? Not to get you. Sthanti Abhilashati. I wanted a kingdom greater than my father, forefathers, and everyone. I came with that desire. It was a materially motivated desire. Sthana Abhilashi Tapasi Stitoyam. And that is why I was doing bhajan here. That is why I was doing tapasya. But but my dear Lord, obtaining you is guhyam. It is very, very rare and confidential even for the munis. Even the sages and the sadhus find it difficult to get you, my dear Lord, and I have easily obtained you. I am only 5 or 6 years old and I have got you. I came here with some other desire, but now I have found you, my dear Lord. Kachan vichinvan abhidevya ratnam. My dear Lord, you are Divya Ratnam, you are like the jewel. And the material desires of this world, how are they? Kachan vichinvan. They are like kach. They are like broken pieces of glass. Who cares for broken pieces of glass when you have diamond in front of you? जब सामने सोना हो तो यदि कांच हो, कांच टूटा हो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? जब सामने गोल्ड, you have diamond, who cares for broken pieces of glass? So in that way, it is explained here. Dhruva Maharaj says, Swamin कृतांत तोस्मे वरम न याचते. हे प्रभु, हम कृतांत हो गए. अब हमको और कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए. Now that I have found you in my life, I don't want anything else. Kachan vichinvan api divya ratnam Swamin कृतांत तोस्मे वरम न याचते. Dhruva Maharaj says. But still Vishnu gives it. He gives kingdom greater than his father, forefathers, whatever. He gives a very big kingdom. Why? So that in the future, people don't criticize the Lord by saying that even if people come with material desires, you purify them so much that now they don't have any material desires. So people should not criticize that you are not giving them what they want. You are purifying everyone's desires and you are not giving them whatever they want. So, because no one should criticize him, Vishnu grants him his desire, while at the same time gives him an ultimate position. So, whether it is Prahlad, whether it is Dhruva, whether it is Madhavendra Puri here, whether it is Rukmini, who had not even practically seen Krishna, just wrote a letter and Krishna came for her. Or whether it is the Pandavas, whether it is the Braja Gopis, whether it is Gajendra, who was practically in a life and death situation, with the crocodile having caught his feet. But still, the Lord was ready to love, reciprocate and shower His mercy on His devotees. So time and again we see that whatever our background is and wherever we are from, there is always every hope. There is every hope that Krishna will accept us. And because there are time and again history is to substantiate this. We were saying this point yesterday also. In the Vaishnava song it is explained, Daya kuro more nitai, daya kuro more, avatira gati nitai sadhu loka bole. That avatira gati nitai, jinki koi gati nahi hai, those who do not have any destination, those who feel very hopeless in life, Nityananda Prabhu is their hope. जिनका कोई उद्धार करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है, नित्यानंद प्रभु उनके लिए है. Nityananda Prabhu has come down from them. Oh, Gatira Gati Nitaya. Who is saying Sadhu Loka Bole? The Sadhus have said this. The Sadhus have said this. That those who have no hope, Gauranga and Nityananda are there. Hope. So just like Krishna reciprocates for Sripad Madhavendra Puri. In that way, we can be rest assured that the Lord will reciprocate for all of us also, provided there is fragrance in the heart. As we said, Krishna smells the fragrance of the heart. In this way, I very humbly want to stop here and thank all the devotees for very kindly being here. I know it's a change of time for the devotees who have been attending Chaitanya Charitamrita, but hopefully when I'm back to Seattle, we can get back to the original time. And thank you to the devotees of ISKCON Phoenix also over there in the temple and other devotees who have joined. Thank you so much for being in the conversation. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, we can take. I see a lot of hands raised. Nikhilesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Bharatna. Today I have one question and I have one request to make. So first of all, I'll ask the question. I am currently in my youth forum. So many a times I face this problem and my friends also face this problem that there are some clashes with the mentors. That the mentors are in some other mood, they are serving in some another mood, and the students are serving in some another mood. So how to understand this and not commit Vaishnava part towards our mentors? Like we tend to listen to other speaker classes, but our mentors, they are trying to provide us with some other classes. So understand that they are not commit
So we see, we respect every devotee. Every devotee carries a particular mood, and if someone has been mentoring and training us, we definitely respect them. We don't, out of nowhere, we don't stop listening to them or accepting their instructions. We still listen to them. So whatever they are giving, we still hear their classes. While at the same time, where our heart is, we also follow that. अब पूरी दुनिया को बताने की जरूरत नहीं है कि हमारे हृदय में क्या है. But wherever our heart is, we still go that route, and we still hear speakers, and we still hear those classes. But at the same time, we still respect, because they are our mentors, they are our Siksha Gurus. We still respect them. We don't disrespect. But eventually, as we get initiated, and as we get Brahman initiated, slowly we can refine our mood such that we start hearing speakers and classes that align to our mood. But till the time we are not initiated, it's better to be under Anugatya, better to have mentors who can train us. But once we are initiated, Brahmanically initiated, then our mood can be a little more refined, where we can go deeper in the path of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada would say that our mood or our method is boiling of the milk. Now we have many devotees who have joined ISKCON, but now we want to boil the milk, which means we want to make sure they become more serious and more advanced in this path of Krishna consciousness. दूध तो है, अब दूध को उबालना है. So now we want to make sure devotees that are there are more serious and become more strong and advanced on this path of Krishna consciousness. So we respect them, at the same time we follow our heart, and eventually, as time goes by, we can transition more to where our heart is. So we are respecting them, at the same time we are satisfying our heart's desire. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Now, one more thing, Prabhuji, if it is possible, would you please call this place Ishwar, we could have this darshan also in the area if it is possible.
Acha, definitely, sure. Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Divya Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such wonderful lecture as always, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I had this question, Tirumala here also, Prabhuji, we cannot put our, sorry for the disturbance in the background, Prabhuji, we cannot put our foot on the Tirumala because it is also considered Vishnu as Vishnu. So, Prabhuji, so how do we, should we climb the hill or like Ramanujacharya ji, he also, he used his knee to climb. So, can you please put some light on that how do we climb or should we climb or not, that thing?
Yeah, generally the mood is one should refrain. But in Tirumala we see normally they climb, and I have seen in our ISKCON also they climb. Primarily the mood with Giriraj is very, very glorious, and he is considered the best among devotees of the Lord, and this Radharani has confirmed. So we being the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at least for Giriraj we follow this very, very strictly, that we don't, even remotely we don't come close to Giriraj where we are keeping our feet or our foot. So this is the mood. Ideally if we can refrain, it is great. But generally it is seen. We have to also see what the temple authorities have as their rules. If they are okay, and if that is what is encouraged in their sampradaya, that it is okay for you to keep your feet and then take darshan, then we respect that. If there is any alternative, you can do that, but if there is no alternative, then probably that's the only way. But at least as far as Giriraj is concerned, we definitely don't do that, 100% no. About Tirumala, again it's based on our mood and what inspires us. But at least as far as Giriraj is concerned, we ideally don't do it.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. And I had one more question, Prabhuji. Last class I forgot to ask you. Prabhuji, you were talking about that replicate Saraswati. Prabhuji, that in YouTube I tried to search, but what should we type to search? Like I typed little Saraswati Prabhupada, so I could not find the video. So can you suggest some keywords how to find
I don't think there's a video exclusively on that. It is some video of Prabhupada where you find this. I don't know what you would even write on YouTube to get that. But yeah, if devotees have any suggestion, because I'm pretty sure many would have seen that video, but I really don't know what to write. It's just one video of Prabhupada where you find Prabhupada is playing with her. But yeah, if I come across that video again, then probably I will share it in our reading the discussions.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can share it in the community group if you get it, Prabhuji. Mobile request, Prabhuji. I'm sorry, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Srivats.
Prabhuji, my question was, when Madhavika Puri appeared, how big was Govardhan Parvat at that time?
Govardhan was very big at that time. Of course, Madhavendra Puri is not long ago. Still again 500, 600 years back. Because as we say, he is giving initiation to Advaita Acharya as we explained here. So it's not long ago. But Govardhan was still big, but not probably like the time it was there in Krishna's time. Krishna's time was very huge. But as time went by, it has decreased. But what are the dimensions of Govardhan when Madhavendra Puri saw it and installed Gopal? And the dimensions are not sure, but it was comparatively bigger than what we see at this point, but it was lesser than what Krishna lifted during the Govardhan Leela Bhaskar. So somewhere in between. Hare Krishna. Jahnavi Mataji. Yes, Jahnavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one extra question I have is Jaipur as well as Lord University. So, can they be offered to Krishna and accepted as Prasada? First we cook the Lord in Bharat, and then we cook the water. And my second question is, Prabhuji, can we practice Namna Kirtan because I used to do that long ago, and I understood. So, can I be?
Hare Krishna. So regarding Jain food, who's cooking? Are you cooking it or is it cooked in the mess? I was not.
It's completely messy.
Yeah, if it's cooked in the mess, then maybe not very encouraging to offer it, because the person who is cooking, you don't know what their consciousness is and what he practices behind. So it's not very encouraging. But one thing that you can certainly do is, besides seeing many Brajavasis doing it, to just make sure that what you're having is still prasadam. If you have Braj Raj with you, whatever messed up, जो भी खाना है, Jain food है, whatever that खाना is there, when it comes to you in your plate, just sprinkle some Braj Raj on top. Sprinkle some Radha Kund Braj. In that way, even if you're eating messed up khana, you're still particles of Braj Raj or Radha Kund Raj are going inside your mouth. So you still get the benefit of eating prasadam. Because in Vrindavan Mahimamrita it is explained that every morsel that is had in Vrindavan has the benefit of honoring prasadam. So now even if you're away from Vrindavan, if you just have Braj Raj, it is not different from Vrindavan. So in worst case, like for example, I've seen devotees do this. If suppose you are in Mumbai or any of these places and outside office or outside college or whatever, like if you get a bottle of water, प्यास लग रही है and पानी का bottle है. So now you open and I see devotees, they have Braj Raj in their pocket. So they will put little Braj Raj and now that whole water bottle becomes prasadam and now they will drink it. So even water can be transformed into prasadam. So this is the highest way wherein everything that we are honoring or eating is prasadam. Whatever is going inside is prasadam. So that is something that we can do. Probably not offering it, but you can sprinkle Braj Raj and then accept it. The second question I couldn't follow, Matri. Can you repeat? I couldn't somehow follow the question.
Prabhuji, it's about Ramana. So, Ramana is so when you want that Krishna
कृष्णा conscious में आने के बाद आप राधा नाम लिखेंगे तो और बेहतर होगा. कृष्णा conscious पहले, हाँ तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, कृष्णा conscious के पहले आप राम नाम लिख रहे थे, अब वो बंद हो गया, अब कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में आ गए, तो यदि आपको फिर से स्टार्ट ही करना है तो राधा नाम से स्टार्ट कीजिए. So the essence of all philosophy is the name of Srimati Radharani. Ram Nam is also glorious, but the essence of Ram Nam is Sri Radha Nam. So if you want to again get into that habit, ideal or great is to write the name of Sri Radha. But if that is not there due to whatever reason, and your heart is more towards Sri Ram, then you can still write. कोई problem नहीं. राम भगवान ही पूजनीय है. कितने सारे मंदिर में प्रभुपाद जी ने राम जी की स्थापना की है, तो हम राम नाम तो बिल्कुल लिख सकते हैं. लेकिन यदि ब्रज में प्राप्ति चाहिए, यदि ब्रज में स्थान चाहिए, तो फिर राधा नाम लिखना आवश्यक है. राधा रानी के प्रति प्रेम जागृत करना ये अति आवश्यक है. तो we can definitely write. There is no harm in that. Ram Nam, Radha Nam, it is based on what your heart is. You can see the calling of your heart, and then you can write. Yes. हाँ, कर सकते हैं. आइडियली कोई बुराई नहीं है, बट आइडियली यदि ब्रज रखे तो वो बेहतर होगा. जब हम वृंदावन जाए, कई सारे ब्रज लेके आइए, क्योंकि बोला जाता है कि ब्रज से हम बाहर कुछ लेके नहीं जा सकते, लेकिन एकमात्र ऐसी चीज है जो ब्रज से बाहर लेके जाने की परमिशन है, वो है ब्रजरज. सो when you go to Vrindavan, take a lot of brajraj along with you and take it and come back to Mumbai or wherever you stay, whichever, Hyderabad, Kolkata, whatever, and then use that little until your next yatra to Vrindavan, where you again refill your stock of brajraj and keep doing that. So in that way, there are many devotees in America I have seen, because यहाँ से आना बहुत मुश्किल है. So devotees plan it in such a way, in their house they have Radhakund water, Yamuna water, Ganga jal, राधाकुंड ब्रज सब कुछ है. यदि अकाल मृत्यु कुछ आ गई, ये कुछ हो गए, तो वृंदावन के रिलेटेड सब कुछ है यहाँ पर. सो मेनी यूएस डिवोटीज हैव दिस. इंडिया में ये जाता है कि हमें लगता है कि अरे वृंदावन हम कभी भी जा सकते हैं, बट यूएस के वक्त को ये होता है कि हम नहीं आएंगे, पता नहीं कब आएंगे. सो नेचुरली द सीरियसनेस इज देयर दैट one time that you go, you want to make sure you get everything along with you. So this is something we can do. यदि ब्रजरज अभी फिलहाल नहीं है, तो हम महामंत्र जपे और प्रणाम मंत्र जपे, लेकिन प्रयास ही करें कि हम जब भी जाए, we get ब्रजरज. Okay? Yes. Here माता जी.
Last class you had mentioned that Radhakund there lilies of filthy and all. So you said Janga Mata, I guess 14 or something. So what's significance of that?
So Janavama is not different from Anandu Manjari, and Janavama's Betak is there. So Betak means the place where she did bhajan. और ये वो स्थान है, this is that place where Janavama had darshan of Radha and Krishna. So that is where there is a temple there. So even now when you go, there is a big board that will be put, a marble slab that will be put, and it's now I think given to ISKCON. ISKCON takes care of it. But there it will be written, it is Janavama Betak, and it is glorious because this is the place where Janavama or Anandu Manjari on Nityananda Prabhu's concert saw Radha and Krishna face to face, had darshan. So that is the significance there. Yes, Nandini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, my question was that in Jagannath Puri, on Ekadashi प्रसाद महाप्रसाद अगर पाएंगे तो क्या वो अपराध या पाप नहीं कहलाएगा?
तो ये बोलते हैं जगन्नाथपुरी में कि एकादशी के दिन खा सकते हैं, लेकिन एज पर एज गौड़ीय वैष्णव वी डोंट ब्रेक एकादशी प्रिंसिपल. वृंदावन में भी कई बार हमें सुनने मिलता है कि एकादशी इज ऑप्शनल और व्हाटएवर, बट इफ यू आर अ फॉलोअर ऑफ गौड़ीय ट्रेडिशन देन एकादशी इज नॉट ऑप्शनल. Wherever you are, whether you are in Jagannath Puri, whether you are in Vrindavan, or whether you are in India, Ekadashi should not be broken under whatever circumstances. The only concession is less than 8 and after 80. Even if you don't follow Ekadashi, it is okay. Because less than 8 you are very young, and after 80 you are very old. यदि 80 के बाद जिए तो less than 8 and after 80, no concession. But in between that, Ekadashi should not be broken. Unless and until your health is very bad and we are hospitalized and we are into medication and all those things, then we are practical. But if health is okay, then we don't take it. यहाँ जगन्नाथपुरी की यदि पंडा भी बोले कि नहीं जगन्नाथपुरी प्रसाद खाओ, हम हाँ बोले कि हाथ पर लेके फिर हम वहाँ से निकल जाए, and we can keep it in our bag or pocket or whatever, and next day we can have it, but we don't break Ekadashi. This is Gaudiya principle. Mahaprabhu was very strict on that. Prabhupada was very strict on that. We don't break Ekadashis, irrespective of wherever we are. Hare Krishna. Yes, Yati. Hare Krishna.
Guruji, I had more questions, so can we take it, please?
Maybe we'll see the other hands that are raised and then we can try to come back.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes, Yati Prabhu, Mataji, not sure. Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, I have a question. Prabhuji, is it better to read Srimad Bhagavatam first or Chaitanya Charitamrita?
So generally it is said that we finish Bhagavatam. We finish Bhagavad Gita first, we should finish Srimad Bhagavatam, and then eventually we go to the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because the reason being, the place where Bhagavatam ends is where Chaitanya Charitamrita starts. In Bhagavatam, in Krishna Lila, there are three unfulfilled desires of Krishna. And these three unfulfilled desires of Krishna get fulfilled in Gaura Lila. This is how Chaitanya Charitamrita starts. Anarpita Charinchira Karunaya Avatirana Kalau Samarpaitam Unnata Ujjvala Rasam Subhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dviti Kadamba Sandipita Sadara Daya Kandare Spurutava Sachidandana Radha Krishna Pranay Vikriti Ladini Shakti Rasmat Ekat Manav Abhibhuvi Puram Deha Vedam Gatavutau Chaitanyakyam Prakata Maduna Tadvayam Jaikyam Aptam Radha Bhava Kriti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam Radhaya Pranay Mahima Kidrishova Nayena Adi Lila chapter 1 text 4, 5, 6 internal reason as to why Gauranga Mahaprabhu advented. Three unfulfilled desires of Krishna Leela, of Krishna and Krishna Leela, that got fulfilled as Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Gaur Leela. So, यदि पहले भागवत पढ़ ले, so Mahaprabhu's Leelas can be understood very easily. But still, having said that, we don't wait for finishing Bhagavatam. Parallelly, we have to also understand who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, because he is the Yuga avatar. Because finishing Bhagavatam is going to take us many years, based on the speed that we are in. It's going to take many years. तो इसका ये अर्थ नहीं कि हम वो समय में चैतन्य महाप्रभु के बारे में चर्चा ही ना करें ना. Because Gaur Purnima will come, Nitya Trivadashi will come, Advaita Acharya's appearance day will come, and most houses have Gaur Nitai. So if you don't know about who the personalities are, what their contributions are, then it's very difficult to have any preeti towards them. So ideally, one should finish Bhagavatam and then go to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's the ideal. But having said that, we still don't wait for finishing Bhagavatam. As and when we get time, we can read little pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially like Madhavendra Puri. Now this doesn't require any prerequisite. इसके लिए ऐसा नहीं कि भागवतम पता होना चाहिए. It is just how the Lord reciprocates. Whether it's Gopal Chapal or whether it is any of those pastimes, there are no prerequisites. So there are some sections for which Chaitanya Charitamrita requires prerequisites. And primarily those are start of Adi Leela and end of Anti Leela. But Madhya Leela is that section where even without much prerequisite, you can kind of follow the discussion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so, from a Siddhantic standpoint, first Bhagavatam, then Chaitanya Charitamrita, but we still try to study and hear about Gauranga Mahaprabhu whenever we get time. Yes, Hare Krishna. Last question, Shashwat Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Prabhuji, how do you memorize so many verses and how do you manage that? Prabhuji, it makes sometimes for me. So how do you memorize so many verses? Hare Krishna.
So, by hearting verses or memorizing verses, we see, the first thing is, there has to be some taste for it and there has to be interest for it. Taste, interest and effort. These three things have to be there. Bina taste ke nothing is going to happen, bina interest ke nothing is going to happen, bina effort ke nothing is going to happen. One may be very gifted in playing cricket, but if he is not practicing, he is not going to become a cricketer. Nothing happens overnight. So there has to be a lot of effort. And I can speak for myself, I don't know how other devotees memorize verses, at least for me, there has to be a lot of effort. There are a few things that can be done. So in my, I don't have my phone here, but in my phone I have made a folder. So you have gallery. So in that gallery you can make folders. So iPhone has this facility. I think Android also has this facility where you can create folders. So I have created a folder just for shlokas. Whatever new shloka that I see, I will click and I will put that into that folder. So that will have many verses. Now when I am traveling and there in flight or I am there in any of car or whatever like that, then I will keep seeing those verses in that time. So यदि 10 बार देख लिए तो वर्स थोड़ा थोड़ा बाय हार्ट हो जाएगा. If it's चैतन्य चरितामृत 2 lines, then it doesn't take much time to by heart because only 2 lines. But if it's Bhagavatam 4 lines, then by hearting those take little more time. So in that case, I again follow the same process. Now if that doesn't work, then what we can do is I record myself. So in our phone we have recording facility. I will record myself chanting that words, and throughout the day I will keep hearing myself. So एक दिन में यदि 10 बार सुन लिए, तो पूरे हफ्ते में 70 बार सुन लिए. 70 times you have heard that verse, and if you hear it 70 times in 1 week, naturally at least 50% of the verse by heart हो जाएगा, memorize हो जाएगा, without much effort. All that effort we just keep hearing yourself and keep now repeating the same process. What eventually happens is by hearting the first verse is going to take time. By hearting the second verse is going to take time. But as you keep doing it, the process increases, the speed increases because now your tongue is accustomed to it. Starting में दिक्कत होती है, पर लेकिन बाद में it doesn't take much time because now you're used to the process. So it takes little effort. मोबाइल में फोल्डर बनाइए, उसमें वर्सेस डालिए, जो भी आप वर्सेस पढ़ते हैं उसमें डाल दीजिए और वो ऐसा नहीं कि वो वहीं रहे, उसको खोलकर पढ़ना भी है. और साथ ही साथ if that is not working, record yourself. We record so many things, record ourselves and keep listening to ourselves chanting the verses. And by the time that is done, verse by heart ho jayega. And now once the verse is by hearted, then share it with your family members or share it with your devotional friends. Once you do that, now your pucker on the verse is more strong. Then quote it in a class. Because directly if you quote it in a class, chances are there that you may falter. But after you have gone through so much, after sharing with family members, etc., now when you quote it in class, there is confidence and the chances of faltering are comparatively less. Yes, it is possible, it is still possible कि भूल जाए class के बीच में, but still chances are comparatively less. So these are a few things that can be done, at least that I am doing, which I can share. But we can see whatever inspires us and accordingly we can figure out. These are few things that at least resonate to me. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. There was a request that was made in the start, so let me see if Prabhuji is there around. Ishwar Gauranga Prabhu? They want to see.
Oh, come on.
Well, like Ishwar Gauranga देख सकते हैं.
Hari Bol, Jai Jai. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. We are so happy to have association with Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Dhanwas. I was saying that we are so happy to have association of Arjun Seka Prabhuji and
बोलने दे
Hare Krishna. Please listen what I'm saying. I'm saying that we are having a very good association of Arjun Seka Prabhuji. Yesterday I got a lot of guidance from him. So this was the first time he's coming to Phoenix, and all Phoenix devotees are so very happy. And all of you are so lucky that daily you get Prabhuji association, guidance, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. You start your day with Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it's so wonderful. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji is very kind. Prabhuji is very kind, but the Phoenix devotees are very, very, very sweet. As you mentioned, this is my first visit. So yes, we had some nice discussion about Chaitanya Charitamrita yesterday, and today also we have some classes lined up, and tomorrow also.
So we have, I'm not sure what you plan for today, but we have our Facebook, ISKCON Phoenix Facebook, and Katha will be live on Facebook, as well as we will be joining the Zoom call. So do you have any WhatsApp group?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so we can send out a link, joining link. So if you are available, you can feel free to join. So Katha will start at around 10:30 a.m. Phoenix time. So you can calculate your.
रात का 11 बजे इंडिया में.
अच्छा आप सब लोग इंडिया से हो?
Majority of India.
अच्छा, okay. So that's nice.
सब Indian वासी है.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So, Jai, thank you so much. It was they requested at the start. I don't know how they came to know about maybe the background or whatever. But सब देखे पहचान लिए सब क्लास के starting में बोला ईश्वर गौरंग प्रभु. Yes, here Ishwar Gauranga Prabhu is here. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for very kindly joining and encouraging me in this reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please keep praying for both of us that we can serve Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this mission of the humble mood of servant of the servant of the servant. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Gaura Premanande. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,